Okay guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is another very strong video in which you may not want to hear what I'm going to tell you, but you have to understand that you have to decalcify your brain. The reptilians, which are represented in many very different, I would say, cultures, architecture, sculptures in the world, is just absolutely insane. And the reptilians, as we know them, have been around across many different civilizations in many shapes and forms, but always they were represented as a being which was almost like over the human, very powerful, as in a deity, a very strong being, a being which people would worship. That's right, they would worship back in the day. This is a comparison graph. We have the reptilians from Japan, Iraq, from Serbia, as you can see here, Panama, more from the Great Canyon, so very surprisingly similar, isn't it? The reptilians are beings which were here for thousands of years, and they actually manipulated our past substantially. This is another example here. Look at this one here. Again, we have the reptilians eating humans. Also, as you can see there, humans were, as you can see here, almost like the substance of what reptilians would feed on, and that is just very scary, guys. But apart from that, obviously you can say, oh well, this was just a historical representation, this was just, some countries just representing reptilians as a coincidence or something. You could say that this is pure coincidence, which I know that many people like to say that because they're afraid to actually face on the truth. They have that fear in their mind that, oh no, I'm going to actually find out the truth, and the truth is going to make me feel uncomfortable, and maybe by knowing the truth I'm going to of course be considered that I'm a crazy guy. But then when you look at modern buildings and the Catholic religion, you understand that the reptilians have always still been with us. This is St. Paul VI audience hall in the Vatican City, and we see that the audience hall itself literally is the head of a reptilian snake. As you can see here, the entrance, the inside the hall, as you can see here, we have the fangs, we have the eyes, we have the scales at the top here. This is literally like you're entering the mouth of a reptilian. It's quite obvious, isn't it? Now look at the outside. The outside is literally 100% the head of a reptilian. I mean, you can just tell by this. Just compare that and tell me I am not lying. I mean, come on, like this is just, look at this. I mean, it's just too obvious. Even the top of it, they simulate the scales of the snake, all right? And the eyes, as you can see here, right? Now, also, Jesus, as in the resurrection, as you can see here in the background, his head is actually linked to what? To the face of a reptilian, as you can see here. This is again another reptilian, a snake's head, and the snake is literally sticked onto the head of Jesus here on the sculpture. This is called the resurrection, right? So basically they're already telling you in your face that you have been lied to, and you are basically praying to entities which are not Jesus. They're entities which kind of like make you believe that Jesus was the person you're praying to, but everything is effectively manipulated. Everything you know about history in terms of the knowledge of religion and everything was manipulated and transformed and warped to make you believe that you are worshiping Jesus, and of course talking about God, Holy Spirit, whatever you want to buy it. It doesn't matter, guys. It's all the same thing. Everything is connected. And I'm sure that many people who, of course, have been growing under a very specific, conservative, religious way, they will not be able to accept this. And that's absolutely fine. I do not blame them, because to accept this stuff and understand the truth of this stuff, you have to have a very strong mind, and you have to not be afraid of the truth. And for some people, that's just impossible. But that's fine. We all know that a point comes in life when some people wake up and some people just can't do it because the pressure on it is just too much, guys. But hopefully with these photos you understand, and you kind of see that effectively our past has been continuously and constantly influenced by these beings, by what we call the reptilians, who were actually feeding on human beings across the millennia non-stop. We are literally their food, want it or not. It doesn't matter what you really think, because these beings are much more advanced than us, as they were represented as deities back in the day, and most likely they're even now feeding on us in a different way. Who knows, out of our energy or something? I have no idea. Out of our feelings, potentially, out of our emotions. That's just one example, right? But they are definitely feeding on us in different shapes and forms. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next one. Bye.